I appreciate you stopping by to watch this video. I'm very eager to show this to you, and trust me, this is far more advanced than the ultimate DPS build that you viewed before. I was so eager to get into this one because the ultimate hybrid build is not simply one build, it's a concept. And this concept encompasses multiple builds. If you have this one idea, this one perspective, you can implement it with all gear sets. Striker, Ongoing Directive, Umbra Initiative, Heartbreaker. Whatever build you want to use, whatever gear set you want to use, if you implement this concept, then you'll achieve the ultimate hybrid build. Appreciate you stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're hyped about what I'm going to show you, then I'd appreciate a like on the video. Also, if you want to support my journey, subscribe to my channel for builds from DPS all the way to skill, also guides and gameplay. Now let's get straight into this. Over the past few weeks, I've been uploading these builds. Striker 5.5, Umbra 5.5, Juggernaut. So there's a wide spectrum of builds that are using this similar concept. If you want just a PvE build, then you can do the ones that are less tanky, because PvE is pretty simple in regards to learning the NPC's behavior. It's not as in-depth as PvP, wherein you have to have a little bit more survivability to compensate for the fact that players are going to be doing some unpredictable stuff, which is why a lot of people don't really prefer PvP, because it gets sweaty. But I have something for that. One, I've already uploaded a build called Juggernaut that has 1.7 million armor. You can go check that out. 5 skill tiers and 5 armor cores, 2 weapon cores. It's just amazing. People are praising that build, and rightly so. I love it. But let me explain this concept from 2 perspectives. A tank perspective and a less tanky perspective. The advantage for the less tanky perspective is that you get more weapon damage. So you decide what you want, more survivability or more weapon damage. Either way, you're going to have the tools you need to hit insanely hard with your skills and your weapon. So let me break down the PvE version first. Now there is one PvE version that can be played in PvP as well, which I'm comfortable with. That's the Ongoing Directive. And this is simply because of the hollow point ammo. The fact that it gives your team this ammo also increases your DPS exponentially. So it gives you an advantage that you don't have with like Striker in PvP or Umbra Initiative. Both cases are a little bit more situational. I mean, you could make a case for saying that Ongoing Directive is a little bit more situational than Umbra, because all you have to do is sit and cover. And with Ongoing Directive, all you have to do is kill an enemy with a status effect. So here's what you have to do. The whole idea is to use brand sets that allow you to have skill tiers natively baked into them so that you can roll that attribute or that brand set core to whatever you desire, preferably weapon or armor. And you can only achieve this with certain pieces. First of all, you need the 𝐤𝐸𝐵𝐞 backpack, which is an exotic. You can get this by farming Countdown, and if you don't get lucky when you target loot backpacks, you can purchase an exotic cache for 145 Countdown credits, I believe, and get lucky when you open it. I actually got a couple of them today, so that's how you get that. The other pieces are pretty simple to get, and you get them the same way that you'd get the 𝐤𝐸𝐵𝐞 backpack. Countdown is pretty much the way to go for all of this stuff anyway. All you have to do is target loot whatever you need and you'll get it eventually. That's the first piece that allows you to have 1 skill tier. In fact, it gives you 1 skill tier, 1 armor core, and 1 weapon core. So this is what helps with those tank builds that gives you that extra survivability and a little bit of extra damage that you don't have because you weren't able to roll a red core. Next, you're going to want to use the Technician Specialization. This also gives you a skill tier just for using it, which means that no matter what, you're always going to have 1 skill tier along with you. So that's 2, 𝐤𝐸𝐵𝐞 and Technician Specialization. The third piece of gear you want is the Picard's Holster. Now this piece of gear cannot roll as a weapon core, but its name attribute gives you 15% weapon damage, which is essentially a weapon core, but it can't roll as a weapon core. And one of the attributes is that 15%, which can't be changed either. So you pretty much have 1 attribute that you can roll to your choosing: critical hit damage, crit chance, skill damage, whatever you want. That's the 3rd skill tier. So you see what I'm doing right here. Right now I have 3 free skill tiers on my build, which means that I can do whatever I want with these pieces. And here's where you need to bridge the gap as to whether or not you want to decide if you're going to do a tank hybrid or the hybrid that has more weapon damage but is a lot less tanky. If you want to go the tank approach, then you have to use the new brand set that just came out called Palisade Steelworks. 3 pieces of this gives you another skill tier. But here's the thing, you don't have to use 3 pieces, you only need 2 since you're using the Ninja Bike backpack. Same thing with the 𝒑𝐻 holster. The 2 piece is what gives you the extra skill tier, but you only need 1. So this frees up some more slots for you to do whatever you need. So you can have for your gloves another piece of 𝒉𝒍s to get 50% ammo capacity, which is great if you're using the capacitor, and then another piece of 𝐿𝐴𝐳 still works. If you don't want the extra ammo capacity, then you can use like the Fox's Prayer and Contractor's gloves, which is also great for the amplified targets out of cover damage and amplified armor damage, which actually scales really well with the capacitor assault rifle. This is the weapon you're going to be using because the capacitor assault rifle is what gives you 7.5% weapon damage for each skill tier you have. So you're going to be dealing weapon damage with skill tiers, which is insane. This weapon also gives you skill damage for shooting the enemy. This stacks up to 40 times and you get 1.5% for each stack, which gives you 60% skill damage total. So you can decide if you want some more skill damage added to your build so that while you're using these skills with your weapons, then you'll be dealing even more. Which is why on the Juggernaut build, I had skill damage and critical hit damage rolled so I could have both damages. Now, if you want to roll crit hit chance and crit hit damage, you can, or headshot damage, crit hit damage, you can. It's totally up to you what type of build you want to have. See, this is the beauty of hybrid builds, right? You can even make a healer DPS build or a healer hybrid that has critical hit damage and repair skills. This way, you have the 5 skill tiers and you have the repair skills in order to help your Reinforcer Chem Launcher or Heal Hive out even more. It's already at 5 skill tiers, but the stats and attributes on your build, it's what's going to help it excel even more. So you see this concept? It doesn't matter what you use, you can implement this and do the same thing. Now that is the way that you go about doing it with a brand set. With gear sets, it's different. With gear sets, you're limited to how much armor you can have because you're not able to use the skill tiers that 𝒂𝐿𝐴𝐳 comes with. The only thing you can have on there is the 𝒑𝐻 holster because you only need 1. 𝒂𝐿𝐴𝐳, you need 2 pieces of that gear. And if you did that, you will not be able to activate the 4-piece that the gear set offers you. Okay, so with ongoing directive, you use a 3-piece, chest piece, knee pads, gloves, the Ninja Bike backpack, 𝒑𝐻 holster, and a mask of your choosing, depending on, let's say, what kind of weapon you want to use. Now, this is why I love these hybrid builds so much because you're not confined to using the capacitor, even though you can. You have 5 skill tiers, so you can use the capacitor, but the fact that you have 5 weapon cores, you can use whatever weapon you want. The Iron Lung, the Ouroboros, whatever named weapon you want. It's your choice. And you can do the same thing with any other gear set. You can do it with Striker. Just put the same pieces on there. The chest piece, the gloves, and the knee pads, 𝒑𝐻 holster, your mask of choosing, and the Ninja Bike bag. You can do it with Umbra. The same formula. You can do it with Ortiz Exoro's gear set. You could even do it with Hardwired. So this is what I'm telling you. I'm giving you the formula you need to implement this hybrid mentality with any gear set. The brand sets are a little bit less versatile in which brands you can use, simply because you need 𝒂𝐿𝐴𝐳s. You need that 3rd piece that gives you the skill tier. As a result, you get the satisfaction of being extra tanky with a lot of ammo capacity and some great skill damage. Also formidable skills. So this right here is unconventional. This is not like my normal builds where I just sit here and tell you one build. It actually encompasses so much because it's a concept. And the fact that it's a hybrid speaks to the definition of the word. Hybrids encompass all kinds of playstyles, and so does this concept. Now, I don't want to make this video too long. I have some of these builds already on YouTube. I'll link them all in the description. One of them will be linked at the end of the video, and you can check them out yourself. I'm in the process of making some more, like Hardwired, also a few others. A Heartbreaker. I just can't seem to get that chest piece I need from Countdown, but I'll eventually get it. And don't worry about the fact that you don't have your backpack talents, because the beauty of Ninja Bike is that it offers all of these different bonuses that basically compensate for the fact that you don't have that one talent on your backpack. Trust me, this has been tested and proven. You do not need those backpack talents when you have certain builds with the Ninja Bike. So that's pretty much it for this multifaceted build video. I appreciate you stopping by to the end. And this is by far my favorite type of build. If you don't know already, if you're new to the channel, I'd appreciate a like on the video and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you here. I'll see you in the next one, fam. Oh, by the way, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Also, put down any suggestions that you may have about any hybrid builds that have been on your mind. I'd love to see a nice healer hybrid or anything else. You know, a lot of times people who watch my videos see a lot of different things that I don't see, which is what the comment section is for. But that's it for this one, fam. I'll see you in the next one. Be right out.